Okay, so we can start. Hello, welcome to today's webinar. My name is Semra Ahmed, and I am the project officer at NAWAS. As I coordinate the introduction to gender mainstreaming at local level e-course, today I will be giving you an overview of the course and its technicalities. Alongside with me is also Ms. Kristina Hadjivasilova, who will be also presenting as she's the facilitator of the course, meaning she is the gender expert that will be providing continuous support and feedback to you during the course. NAWAS has worked closely with Ms. Kristina over the last few years on gender mainstreaming and gender responsive budgeting activities. And today she will be presenting with you why this topic is important to treat. I would like to inform you that this webinar is being recorded. And after the meeting, the video will be available to you and to those that didn't have the opportunity to join the meeting so they can also look at it. I also see that some of the colleagues joined us just now. Welcome everyone. My name is Semra Ahmed. And as we would love to hear from you, questions are welcome. I would suggest that we first go over the presentation and then you can pose your questions. And please write the questions on the chat bar so we don't miss any of the questions. And we can go ahead and start the presentation. Okay, so before I go into details about the presentation, allow me to give you a brief introduction about NAWAS. NAWAS is a network of associations of local authorities in Southeast Europe. It brings together 14 full-member local government associations from 12 countries, which represent roughly around 9,000 authorities and 80 million citizens. And we also have 7 associate members. The main mission of NAWAS is to promote the process of decentralization and the role of local government, and also strengthen the local government associations in order to ensure the delivery of an offer of more quality services. This course is one of the 7 e-learning courses that are offered by the NAWAS Academy. It was developed by NAWAS with the support of UN Women and GIZ. And as you are aware, the objective is to enable participants to act both as individuals, but also as representatives of organizations working for gender equality. The target group, such as yourself, are decision makers and practitioners and administrative staff at local level and in the local government associations. Now I will yield the floor to Ms. Kristina Hadjivasilova, the gender expert that will be supporting you during this course and will be providing continuous support to you and also feedback. Kristina, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Sarah, and hello to all of you. I understand that we have quite a diverse group of participants today from what I saw from the list of participants. I see that some of you already have knowledge about gender issues, some of you are experts, and I hope that this course will provide to those who are not acquainted with the issue of gender equality, and also kind of round up the knowledge or kind of some details and insights for those of you who are already experts in the field. Just to check, can you hear me? Is the sound okay?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, okay, thank you. I just wanted to check that. So why are we, before we start the course, which I will be facilitating as Semra pointed out to you, I just wanted to check that we are all, let's say, acknowledged with the basics of this issue of gender equality. So my first, the first clarification I wanted to present, and I thought that this would be more of interactive discussion, but because we are dealing with a significant group, and I think it will be difficult for everybody now to participate to discuss. I just would go over to the main, let's say, basics of gender and sex, and this is the differentiation between sex and gender. Because I would kind of really like all of us to know before we start the gender course, what is the difference between sex and gender. And usually in this part of the presentation, I ask you to tell me, but because of this challenge that we have with the audio and with the group, I would just inform you that sex refers to the biological and physiological characteristics of women and men. And this is, let's say, more or less a relatively constant category, which determines natural differences of persons since birth, while gender refers to the socially constructed roles, characteristics, positions, and activities which the society considers adequate for women and men. So in that sense, these gender characteristics construct our gender identity, which is this set of socially agreed roles, behaviors, values, and actions and attributes, which the society considers adequate for women and men. And this is why we say that gender is a social construct, because it has no root in physiology or biology. Luckily for us, it varies depending on time, culture, geography, which means it changes. And this provides us with the opportunity to alter or to impact what our gender identity will be like. Can we please have the next slide, Semra?
Yes.
So as a result of this gender identity, people are assigned certain gender roles, which are socially defined, defining what it is like to be a man and what it means to be a woman. And the reason why these gender roles are are very often very strict and very stable is because they are institutionalized. And they're institutionalized through all the various forms, starting from family, from school, from institutions, media, from all the organizations that we go through in or work with through our lives. That is why it is so important to understand that gender is not some personal issue, but you as representatives of institutions, especially institutions of local government, have a direct influence for institutions who have direct influence on the lives of people in the local communities, can really influence the issue of the gender roles in society. The next slide, please, Semra. So because these gender roles are the basis for developing stereotypes. So these are the stereotypes. Stereotypes means beliefs of how people are, what they represent, and what they should be like. So they're very simplified images of characteristics of women and men, but these stereotypes influence perception and influence behavior, and this also is ingrained in how institutions approach or how institutions deal with people, meaning citizens. And that is why, as I said, as a representative of different institutions, it is important for all of us to recognize that gender issue or gender equality is not a personal issue, but it's something that is institutionalized through our behavior, through our institutions, through the procedures, through the approaches of the organizations towards our citizens. Next slide, please. And this is why we are working for improved gender equality, which means equal visibility, empowerment, responsibility, and participation of both sexes in all spheres of public and private life. This means basically allowing women and men to have equal access and distribution of resources, and also equal participation in decision making and equal responsibility. And it is also accepting and valuing the differences between women and men, the different needs between women and men, and valuing their diverse or different, let's say, contribution to society. And of course, this is gender mainstreaming is an approach. It's just a way, an approach of how to integrate the gender perspective in all aspects of the work of, let's say, local governments, because we're talking here about specifically local government associations and local government institutions, municipalities. So it's basically the integration of gender perspective in preparation, design, implementation, monitoring and evaluation of policies, regulatory measures, spending or budget programs, with a view to promoting equality and combating discrimination, because discrimination is one of the, let's say, biggest challenges to gender equality.
Thank you,
Next slide.
Christina.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you,
you very much.
Christina,
This
for
is a
this
very,
beneficial.
I'm sorry that we cannot have a, let's say, a more broad discussion on this. I just wanted for you to have these slides as a basic, let's say, understanding or introduction to the course. Thank you.
Hopefully we will have a lot more discussions in the course itself, as that's one of the possibilities as well. Thank you very much for this very helpful and beneficial overview. Now we will continue with the technicalities of the course. So just you can have easy time with accessing it and using it. Why this course? Why we think this course is important? One of the reasons is the data that we collect on gender representation. And these are the data that we have collected in 2017. And as you can see, the average of women mayors in Southeast Europe is only 8.4%, which is not a very bright percentage. And whereas the municipal councillors, there is 29 or around 30% representation, and mostly it's due to the quotas. I also, for illustration, you are probably more aware than me in this, but I used the data that CMR published in its study Women in Politics. So these are only a few of the numbers. So in Georgia, the representation is quite low, unfortunately. There's only 1.6%, so only one woman mayor from 64 municipalities, and there are no quotas introduced. The situation is a bit different in Ukraine and Moldova. Partially, I would assume, is also the quotas being introduced here. So in Ukraine, on the local level, there are 30% of the quota introduced, and the actual numbers are there 23% of women mayors elected. Moldova, which is also an OAS member, has quotas introduced, and the situation there is 21.5% of women mayors out of their 898 municipalities. So this is just an illustration of how the situation is so far, and hopefully by having the knowledge and learning more, we can impact a little bit.
This provides us the justification for the course, basically.
Yeah, why it is needed and why we need it.
Yes.
Yeah. So the structure of the course, it is organized in 4 modules and 1 module per week. In the first module, we have Introduction to Gender Equality. Christina already gave us a brief introduction. However, in the course itself, you will have a more details and in more depth all the legal frameworks and other aspects as well. The second model is gender responsive budgeting at local level, why gender responsive budgeting is important and why gender responsive budgeting is transparent budgeting. Third module treats the local government associations as promoters of gender equality at local level. What role can they play in promoting this? And the fourth module focuses on best practices in the area of Southeast Europe for the moment of what has been done in promoting gender equality. We have had 3 deliveries so far in Southeast Europe, but this is the first delivery that we will have in Georgia and Ukraine. Moldova, as I said, is a part of NAWAS, so we've already had deliveries there, but within the Platforma project activities, this is the first delivery that we have in Georgia, Ukraine. So you are the lucky ones to be the first ones attending this course. Why online learning? I think especially at times like this that we're witnessing governments imposing restrictions and encouraging working from home and battling the COVID-19 outbreak. I think this is a great method to keep active or learn more. And this online learning allows that flexibility. It allows you to do the learning on your own pace, to exchange with colleagues from different countries. So as I said, the methodology is individual and facilitated work. There are readings, there are videos with voiceovers, quizzes, and discussion forums. So the first things first, how do you log in? You visit nawaseacademy.com website, click on create new account, fill in the information requested and send it for verification. And after this, you will get an email with a link to complete your registration. By doing so, you will enter the course database and have access to the course. I will be sending these instructions by email as well. So don't worry if you don't remember them now. So this is, once you sign in, this is how the course looks like. This is the home page. On the left side, you have all the modules that I mentioned. The center part is the main reading, the text. You can maneuver by using the arrows here, or you can also click on the table of contents that is on the right side. And here down you have the video presentation with the voiceovers. In the first module, you also have testimonials from the municipality of Strumica and municipality of Bogovinia. The module 2, gender responsive budgeting at local level. So this is how you, when you click on the video on the start presentation, this is how it looks like. After each module, you have a quiz that you need to take. It is here in this part. And as you can see, this is how it looks like. So you're supposed to answer the questions and hopefully get them all right. And also at each module, at the end of each module, we have forum discussions where you express your views, but also get feedback from the facilitator, but also from other colleagues. So you're encouraged to exchange your point of views, focusing on these questions, but also more broadly. What will be your task? Your task will be to read the materials, watch the videos and presentations, do the quizzes, provide responses to the questions in the forum discussions, and most importantly, learn and have fun and exchange with colleagues at the forum discussions. The grading evaluation will be done by the gender expert, in this case, Christina. And at the end, the successful candidates will get certificates. You will have support from all our team, starting from me for all organizational issues. I'm Semra, and you can contact me at ahmet@nawas.eu. For the all course content and thematic issues, we will be in touch with Christina. She can be reached at christina@sdc.com.mk. And for all the technical issues, the support will be provided by Branislav Jovanovic, and you can see his email. And I'll be sharing them with you as well via email after the webinar. As I mentioned, we've already had 3 deliveries of the course. This is some of the feedback that we have received from them so far. All of the participants that have attended the course have said that they have achieved the learning objectives and that they believe that the course has practical value in their lives, and also that they would recommend this course to their colleagues. This is some of the reflections shared by them, that each module has provided many useful information, such as gender mainstreaming at local level, methods and tools for it. And you can see the rest. Hopefully you will have positive impressions from the course as well. So this is what we had from our behalf. Now I open the floor for questions from your side.
There is already one question, Semra. in the chat. I don't know
Just
if
a
you can
moment,
see
yes.
it, about seeing this video webinar. Do you see it?
Yes, we will. I will share the webinar today. Yes, after we're finished with the meeting, we will be sending it to you via email. What are the deadlines? So for the deadlines, I'm sorry. So the webinar will also be put on the course itself. So you will have it available there, but also via email. Now the next question is, what are the deadlines for finishing each module? As I said, each course, each module is planned to last 1 week, but that doesn't mean that you cannot work on your modules later as well. You organize your own time. I will be sending reminders every week, so you have a framework, but otherwise the deadline will be the end of the course. For now it's foreseen 12th of April, but we usually give you 1 more extra week so you can also finish everything that is left that you haven't had the time to do. So
Simona, just I think it's good to have like the first, let's say, deadline for the first
module.
part, for the first module.
But for the
What
first
will it be?
module,
Let's have some date,
we
yes.
will be starting today. I will be sending that in the email. So I usually send reminders every week. So as we started the course now, the deadline will be the end of the week, meaning 22nd of March for the first module, after you log in today. But
So
as
22nd of March.
I said May, huh? Sorry. So 22nd of March for the first week, and then I will be reminding you for the next modules. Next webinar. So this is the only webinar that we'll be having. So this is an informative webinar. The interactions now will be via email and on the course itself through the forum discussions. Any other questions? Okay. Okay, so the test. You have 4 modules, so that means 4 quizzes. The questions are multiple answers, so there are closed questions per se, but the forum discussions, they are more open, where you can share your inputs and your personal experiences and exchange with the other colleagues as well.
And the tests are designed in such a way that you can go back if you made a wrong choice and correct it, because the idea is that we don't want to quiz you. The idea is to increase your knowledge. So don't be afraid. It's more like the tests are designed for you to check your own knowledge, and you can go back and forth. And if you see that you have made a wrong choice, read up, come back and do the quiz again. So don't be afraid of that.
Yes. There's one question that we received where we can send our questions. Can you please clarify, do you mean the forum discussions or the questions that you have in general about the course?
I think they mean about the general questions that they have.
General questions, as I said, for organizational issues, if you have problems, you can contact me at amet@nawas.eu. So whenever you have any difficulties, you can reach me and then we can figure it out from there. There's another question, what's the first step we have to do now? The first step that you have to do now is register, but I will be sending you an email with concrete instructions, so don't worry about it. And then after that, of course, the next first step is starting to read and do your homework.
And I will get in touch with you probably tomorrow to see how things are going in the forum discussion and to maybe ask some more questions from you.
Yes. Any other questions? Great. I hope you found this webinar helpful and beneficial. I wish you all a great week. I wish you enjoy this course and have a fun learning experience, and looking forward to start this journey. Have a nice day.
Thank you from my side as well. Good luck, and let's talk in the forum. Bye.
Yes. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.